Jai Radha Dava Kunja Vihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Janavallava Girivaranadi Gopi Janavallava Girivaranadi Yashodanandana Brajajanarandana Yashodanandana Brajajanarandana Shamodatira Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Gopi Janavallava Girivaranadi Gopi Janavallava Girivaranadi Yashodanandana Brajajanarandana Yashodanandana Brajajanarandana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Prabhupada, 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 Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Gurudev. Jai Gora Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Jai Gora Hari Bol. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajagacharya Hastutarasita Sri Srimati Divine Grace ISKCON Founder Acharya Jagat Guru Sri Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajagacharya Hastutarasita Sri Srimati Divine Grace Sri Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada Ki Ananta Gaudiya Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai, Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai, प्रेम को श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोपाल गोपीनाथ श्यामा को राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय, वृंदावन धाम की जय, मथुरा धाम की जय, नवद्वीप धाम की जय, जगन्नाथ पुरी धाम की जय, जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा देवी की जय, जमुना माई की जय, गंगेश माई की जय, तुलसी देवी की जय, भक्ति देवी की जय, समवेत भक्तवृंद की जय, जय गौर प्रेमानंद। All glories assembled devotees, all glories assembled devotees, all glories assembled devotees. So glory to Shri Guru Shri Gauranga. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prithai Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Dhira Damodara Swami Krishna Padaya Prabhupada Shri Shri Gaura Karuna Sakti Bhakti Dhira Damodara. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashta Praisa Bhadresu Nityam Bhagavata Sevayam Bhagavati Uttama Sukhi Bhakti Bhavati Naistiki Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya 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 Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurunlita Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Gurun Shri Yuttapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Shan Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Sivsakan Vitam Sa He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopisa Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Suti Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripasindhubhya cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare. Gosdara Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Hare Krishna. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 12. Dhruva Maharaj goes back to Godhead. Text 35. Trilokim Devayanena Soti Braja Manimapi Parastadjad Dhruva Gatir Vishnu Padam Adabhagyat Trilokim Devayanena Soti Vrajya Munimapi Parastadjad Dhruva Gatir Vishnu Padam Adabhagyat Trilokim Devayanena Soti Vrajya Munimapi Parastadjad Dhruva Gati Vishnu Padam Adabhagyat
Trilokim Devayanena Soti Vrajya Muni Api Parastadya Dhruva Gatir Vishnu Padam Adabhagyat
Trilokim Devayanena Soti Vrajya Munim Api Parastadya Dhruva Gatir Vishnu Padam Adabhagyat
Trilokim Devayanena Soti Vrajya Munim Api Parastadya Dhruva Gatir Vishnu Padam Adabhagyat
Trilokim Devayanena
Soti Vrajya Munimapi
Parastadya Dhruva
Gatir
Vishnu Padam Adabhagyat
Vishnu Padam Adabhagyat Trilokim. The three planetary systems. Devayanena by the transcendental airplane. Saha Dhruva Ativrajya having surpassed Munin great sages Api even Parastat beyond Jat which Dhruva Gatihi Dhruva who attained permanent life Vishnu of Lord Vishnu Param abode Ata then Abhyagat achieved Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Dhira Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Dhruva Maharaj thus surpassed the 7 planetary systems of the great sages, who are known as Saptarishi. Beyond that region, he achieved the transcendental situation of permanent life in the planet where Lord Vishnu lives. Purport. The airplane was piloted by the 2 chief associates of Lord Vishnu, namely Sunanda and Nanda. Only such spiritual astronauts can pilot their airplane beyond the 7 planets and arrived in the region of eternal blissful life. It is confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita also, Parastasmantu Bhavanya, that beyond this planetary system begins the spiritual sky, where everything is permanent and blissful. The planets there are known as Vishnu Loka or Vaikuntha Loka. Only there can one get an eternal blissful life of knowledge. Below Vaikuntha Loka is a material universe where Lord Brahma and others in Brahma Loka can live until the annihilation of this universe. But that life is not permanent. That is also confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita, Brahma Bhuvana Loka. Even if one goes to the topmost planet, one cannot achieve eternal life. Only by arriving in Vaikuntha Loka can one live an eternally blissful life. That is the end of Srila Prabhupada's purport to text 35 of Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 12, entitled Dhruva Maharaj Goes Back to Godhead. Hare Krishna. So the Jiva Goswami explained that this planet was reserved for Dhruva Maharaj, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura. The planet had not been occupied by anyone. It is reserved for Dhruva Maharaj. Just like you are constructing a house and have a reserved quarter for your son who is schooling in some other place. When he comes, this place, this is for you. It's not occupied. Other places are occupied. But this one, this Dhruva Loka, and Prabhupada is mentioning, the airplane was piloted by the 2 chief associates of Vishnu, namely Sunanda and Nanda. Only such spiritual astronaut can pilot their airplane beyond the 7 planets and arrived in the region of eternal blissful life. This is Vaikuntha. This planet of Dhruva Maharaj is Vaikuntha. In Bhagavatam, you will hear that Dhruva Loka is surrounded by the planet of the Saptarishis. So when you hear that, what will you think? It is material world. It is not in the material world. It is one of the Vaikuntha planet. It's one of the Vaikuntha planet. So it is not a material place. That is why the astronaut, see the way Prabhupada put it. Prabhupada use the word which we can identify with. Instead of crown, Prabhupada use helmet. We know helmet. So he use helmet. And chariot, he say car. Prabhupada say car. The Jagannath car festival. So we can identify with it. Otherwise we think it is foreign. It's not foreign. It's terminology. And it is something that we are doing every day. So Prabhupada use this word astronaut. Why astronaut? They are the people who go to other planets or the sky. So they are from Sunanda and Nanda are coming from the spiritual planet, the Vaikuntha planet. So because it's part of the spiritual world, and Prabhupada distinguished it from the planet of Brahma. The planet of Brahma is not a Vaikuntha. It's a part of the material world. But the planet of Dhruva Maharaj is in Vaikuntha, local. Therefore, the plane that came from there, it is also Vaikuntha airplane. The pilots are also Vaikuntha men. So Nanda and Nanda, they came from there. They are the pilot that would take a liberated soul back home, back to Godhead. The airplane is wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. The airplane. Our material airplane is made of material element. Material element. So it is conditioned. Like everything in the material world is conditioned. The airplane, Vaikuntha airplane, is not conditioned because it is spiritual. So it can go anywhere unchecked without also a crash like we have on here. The fuel is needed, all kinds of things are needed, engineers are needed. This does not need engineer. It doesn't need to be fixed. It doesn't get old, outdated. It's eternal. Everything from Vaikuntha is eternal. So Dhruva Maharaj, it is said here, he surpassed. Maharaj surpassed the 7 planetary systems of the great sages who are known as Saptarishis. Surpassed. It's not in the material world, it's in the spiritual world. Surpassed these great sages. The great sages are taking shelter of Dhruva Maharaj's planet by having the vision you can see to get blessing. They all surround it. That's another thing. How would they surround it if it is in the spiritual world? How would they surround it if it is there? If something is here and all of you make a circle here, is it not surround? If you make a circle here, you surround it but you're not inside. You're still above. So the Dhruva Loka is here, the 7 sages are all here around. So he surpassed the planet of the 7 sages, 7 great sages, because of his spiritual quality. And Prabhupada quoted this verse, Parastatman tu bhavanyo. This is Bhagavad Gita 8:20. It is 8:20. That beyond this, our own material world, there is the spiritual world, which is para, transcendental. It is not limited, not conditioned like our material situation. It's not limited to our material situation. It is beyond that. So Dhruva Loka is beyond the material universe. Only when a person is destined to go to Vaikuntha, they will have the ticket. We got a ticket to enter this airplane. The Vishnu Dutas will come to take us Dhruva was taken. And Dhruva was taken in a very amazing way. We should try to understand Krishna consciousness. What is Krishna consciousness? What we stand to gain? What we are aiming at? We should try to know it. It is important for us to know it because it will help us to strengthen our determination to go there. Our determination will become stronger. Our interest will become intense. Therefore, the devotees become greedy. And Rupa Goswami qualifies us for that. Devotees should be greedy. Pure love for Godhead is not cheap, is not common, it's very rare. If one finds it anywhere, pay any price. It's not greed. That is greed. Devotees should be greedy for Krishna consciousness. Only if you have that quality of greediness, that pure love for God will become possible. Greed to go back to Godhead. Greed to regain our eternal and permanent constitutional position. The permanent, proper use the word permanent. That is beyond planetary system. That beyond this planetary system begins the spiritual sky, where everything is permanent and blissful. Everything. It is said, Sanatana Goswami mentioned Brihad Bhagavatamrita, that the Vaikuntha associate, Vaikuntha vasis, like Dhruva Maharaj, they have all the 6 opulences of Krishna in full, and all of them are desirable opulences. They are desirable opulences. Not everything we have in this material world that are desirable. They are not. They are not. But the spiritual assets are all desirable. Why? They are eternal, they are blissful, and they give us complete satisfaction. That's the difference. So, Prabhupada said here, permanent and blissful. The planet where they are known as Vishnu Loka or Vaikuntha Loka. A permanent is a permanent place. So we are trying to go to that place which is permanent. It is desirable. It is desirable. Because the soul is permanent. The soul is permanent. And we have to go to where we belong, the permanent place. So Dhruva Maharaj is showing us the way to get it. All right. Hare Krishna. Comments? Questions? Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Referring to yesterday's lecture, Guru
Hmm.
you mentioned that demons are very powerful and they are also truthful
Yes.
and they keep their promises. So when Prabhupada refers to demons, like the modern civilization is demoniac, then what Prabhupada is hinting at? Like when we compare the definition, like yesterday we saw, and the way Prabhupada is dealing with modern and how to what he's hinting at.
Demons are different from devotees, even though they are truthful. Even though they are truthful. Yes, it's not, shouldn't be a surprise because the demons, they are also a spiritual part and parcel of Krishna. So all these qualities are Krishna's quality. We may have them to some extent. They are there. Some are manifest, some are not manifest. According to the level of our conditioning. Yes, look at our demons. Maharaj Yudhishthira, he put Dhira Dam in charge of treasury when he was doing his Swami. Why did he put a demon there? Dhira Dam and Karana are expansions of demons, the incarnations of demons. Dhira Dam and Karana, the incarnations of demons. So why Mahara Yudhishthira kept the demon in charge of his treasury? What is his intention? Because he is generous. He would distribute charity to the satisfaction of those who attended the festival. He put a stingy person there. He's going to make people angry. If you don't give people enough charity to make them happy, the sacrifice will not be complete. If a visitor in a house leaves a house angry, it's very inauspicious. It is inauspicious. So civilized people, they are very, very careful to make sure their visitors leave their house happily. It means they will drop happiness in your house. Be happy. So Mahara Yudhishthira, he kept a demon in the treasury department, so he could satisfy everyone that attended the festival in order for them to leave the place satisfied, which will mean the success of his yajna. So, they have the quality. Sankachuda. And 𝐶𝐤𝐬𝐢's Devi's husband. Sankachuda. Siddhanava, demon. Although he's Sudama, cowhead boy. But when he took this form, he's acting as a demon. Very truthful. When Krishna, a Brahmana came to him, Krishna disguised himself and came. I need your amulet. I need your amulet. Will you give something so precious? Krishna gave him this amulet from Goloka. And he knew as long as this amulet is with him and the chastity of his wife, this is his two potencies. The chastity of his wife and this Lord Krishna's amulet on him. These two things with him, nobody can do him anything. No weapon can touch him. Any weapon on him will be like a lotus flower. When Lord Shiva wanted to kill him, Lord Vishnu said, no. There are two things with him. I have to take care of this thing first, then you can do that. Otherwise, you are going to violate the universal principle, which is not good. Bali Maharaj, he violated the universal principle. That's why Lord Krishna punished him. He made 3 offenses. So he was punished. Bali Maharaj. So here, Lord Krishna told Lord Shiva, no, he has two things with him. I gave him my amulet. He's wearing that. His wife is there. Tulsi Devi's chest. You can't do it. But because you are Lord Shiva, you can kill him, and that would violate the universal principle, which is not good. It should not be done. So give me time, let me take care of those 2 things, then you can do it. Lord Krishna disguised himself and came to Sankachuda. I love this your amulet, and if you can give it to me, I will be very happy. He will remove it and give it to him. How do you call that? Magnanimous. He stood to his promise that he will give whatever he's asked for. He will give. Yes. So he gave it. Lord Vishnu took that. And he went to Tulsi Devi also did his own part there. So Lord Shiva was able to kill Sankachuda. So the quality. Now we are looking at the activities which would qualify someone as a demon. It's not religious. So, demons are not religious. They don't keep to regulative principles of freedom. So, nobody feels peaceful. The demons are ruling. Nobody feels peaceful. So, when we say demons, we are looking at activities. Some people are acting as demons may be different, but the activities should qualify them demons because it's not a devotional. It's not devotional. Srila Bhakti Dhira Damodara said, one may have all these wonderful qualities, being truthful, being charitable. You may see all these qualities, but if one is not a devotee, they are all useless. I will not respect any person who had all these wonderful qualities if he's not a devotee. Because what these qualities alone without Krishna is useless. Useless. So it doesn't mean that they're not demons if they speak truthfully. I promise you something, you come and I give it to you. So that is truthful. But does it mean that all my activities are divine? No. Does it make sense?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Is it clear? Another thing? Comments? All right. Thank you. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.